honorable judges, committee, and everyone here today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to thank the Almighty God. It is because of Him we all are able to attend in this contest. Secondly, my salawat and salam always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad SAW, who had brought us from the darkness to this modern era that we live in today. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the judges for giving me this very special opportunity to compete in this contest. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Nur Fitria, and I am from Ahmad University, standing here before you all to deliver my speech. And the theme that I have chosen is sexual violence in Indonesia. Sexual harassment and violence in Indonesia is not a new thing in social problems in society. However, on the other hand, this is often considered not a serious problem, thus making it natural action to take. Sexual violence is any degrading, insulting, or even attacking act that is carried out on a person's body forcibly without the permission of that person. This action can cause the victim to suffer physical, psychological, sexual, and other losses. Have you ever read an article or watched the news about a sexual assault case that made you angry? Recently, I read an article that went viral about a case of sexual violence at a pesantren in Bandung, West Java. Heri Wiryawan, the perpetrator of sexual violence, as well as the leader of the Islamic boarding school who has committed sexual crimes against students in a heinous manner. In my opinion, this is the most uncivilized act because of the sexual crimes he committed that made 8 of his 12 victims pregnant. From this story, it can be concluded that sexual violence can happen to anyone, anytime, and anywhere we are. Komnas Perempuan has stated that there are around 60 cases of sexual violence reported from the scope of education, and campuses are the most at risk of being the site of the highest sexual violence cases, with a percentage of 26% and 17% for cases in religion-based education places such as Islamic boarding school and others. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to this problem, a survey on sexual violence conducted by Lentera Sintas Indonesia and Magdalene found that 93% of survivors of sexual violence did not report their cases to law enforcement officers because victims tend to be embarrassed, have an equal relationship, or even because the case evidence is complicated. This situation makes the victims choose an alternative route that is considered easier. It is by sharing their stories on social media. However, do we have to wait for the story to go viral first to get justice? Then, if social media has developed and has had a great influence, even providing opportunities for survivors of sexual violence, what about the legal system in Indonesia? Well, as we know that the government and legal system in our country are not firm and not ambitious enough in responding to cases of sexual violence, which are currently increasing. We, as Indonesian women, need soundness or strong legal regarding cases of sexual violence so that victims don't struggle alone by just waiting for their stories to go viral, while the perpetrators can be free without worrying anything. In addition, this case must be concern for all Indonesian people, where we must realize that the victims of sexual violence are aggrieved parties and we should not give a bad stigma. We must protect them. In this speech, I also want to encourage all Indonesian women to fight sexual violence and to be brave enough to say anything. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for my speech. I hope we have all learned something new from it, and together we can fight sexual violence. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.